Dexter is the Hawaii Department of Education Food Services Branch Ainapono Farm to School Coordinator and Hawaii Garden to Cafeteria Program Administrator, as I mentioned earlier. And Dexter is going to offer a little background on Mana'o on the Garden to Cafeteria Program. Thanks for joining us, Dexter.
Thank you. Just quick recap sharing a bit from Department of Education School Food Services Branch that our goal is to feed our kids with healthy, nutritious, fresh food so they can achieve academic success. And to do that, we're doing a few things. One is our Farm to School program, which we've launched piloting at Kohala, Mililani, and now on Hawai'i. But another huge part is how much fresher and how much better can it be when our kids grow the stuff that they're going to eat, or they grow the stuff that their friends are going to eat. So that's where the Garden to Cafeteria program came out of, when my director, Albert Scales, said other districts are doing it. And I know Hawaii has said, no, really too high risk. But other districts have come up with this and good risk management protocols that aren't overboard, because that's the other part that he said, that it needs to be something that makes sense. So things like GAP certification, we wouldn't expect the school to pay $1,200 to bring an inspector in to certify a half-acre field that is used mostly for education, but that we'd also want to utilize in our school food. And so how can we do this? So we went to the experts and really sought the assistance of the Hawaii Farm to School GUI. So talking to Lydie and the team to come up with a good risk management plan. If you could forward my slide. And part of it is to help us achieve these 5 goals. That our target is to get 40% local. And while we define local statewide, we definitely would be including what we grow on site as part of it. And number 2, to increase student participation, we've seen, or at least I've seen, at the very least, I've seen personally the effects of when students grow and cook their food and how their consumption patterns change. That the excitement gets built when, even if it's only a handful of tomatoes that were served at the charter school I worked with, the kids would absolutely go crazy thinking or knowing that their contribution to that meal. So we want to increase our participation by 5%. That consumption of those foods also need to change. That we're going to reduce the amount of processed food and decrease the waste as well, therefore increasing consumption of what kids are actually what they actually order. Over time, we want it to be cost neutral, which means that we will be doing some efficiency training in our schools, because we also, in this Garden to Cafeteria program, want to be able to pay for the produce that we're getting. So it's not a handout that we're looking for, but not only having kids grow the produce, but kind of come up with a mini business plan that we would be able to get an invoice and then actually pay for the products that we're getting. And of course, through all that is systems modernization. In the start, we expect it to be a little handheld in how we invoice and how we process things, but getting to the point that we can actually utilize technology even better is our goal.